So firstly, we'll start off by saying Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all Yakim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Yaka Zakala from Jamaica, here to do a short breakdown on eating pork. Isn't it? Because out here in Jamaica, our people have a famous saying that if you don't eat pork, half of your life is gone, which is to attest to their for their love for eating the abomination pig, swine's flesh, and eating pork come with so much risk, so much non-health benefits and harms to your body. Like, this is an article on the health risks of eating pork that we are going to get into, but it's close to the Christmas season out here, and during this time, family get together and have big cookings and all that. And one of the main dish that they love to cook is pork, jerk pork, pig's tail, all of the other dishes of pork, and they have a feast of eating it, they have a love for eating it, and which is an abomination, which is an outright disregard for the laws of the Most High, which we're gonna get into as well. But first, I wanna go through the article. So this is an article by Made India that says health risks of eating pork. See me? And it says pork is the most widely consumed of all meats across the world, and it refers to meat obtained from the domestic pig or hog. Pork consumption has been part of the human diet for millennia, with pigs being reared as livestock as far back as 70,000 years ago. So pork eating is nothing new, man. You have a story in Maccabees, Second Maccabees, that a family was slaughtered for their fear for keeping the Most High laws and their unwillingness to eat pork. You see me? A whole family was slaughtered. And why? Because they know the laws of the Most High. They fear the Most High over man. You see me? Which is right. And they didn't want to defile themselves, because eating pork is defiling yourself as well. So get into it. This is one of the risks of bacterial infection. It says pork that is untreated or not cooked adequately may contain harmful microorganisms and pose a risk of infection. So pork, isn't it? Is eating pork and consumption of pork leaves you at a high risk of bacterial infection. And what some of them bacteria, you have some pathogens that are often present in pork meat include Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella, and Staphylococcus aureus. Isn't me? With these names can't really pronounce clearly. But it says these bacteria are mainly found in uncooked pork. However, and according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), most of these pathogens can be destroyed through proper cooking. Isn't it? But you still leave your body at a high risk for eating and containing these bacteria, isn't it? And these bacteria destroy the body through various means. E. coli and Salmonella is close to typhoid, which typhoid fever and the typhoid overall affects your body through your dietary system. You see me? Through your large intestines and your small intestines, and continue to play on your body, causing diarrhea, causing high fever, and causing various illnesses and detrimental things that can happen to your body, man. You have a next bacteria in pork that is called Yersinia enterocolitica, you see me, which causes gastroenteritis. And many people say, oh, they will face the gastroenteritis just to eat pork. You see me, because pork meat nice and pork meat this and pork meat that. You see me, as the famous saying goes, half your body, half your life gone if you don't eat pork, you see me. But this bacteria, you see me, can survive when the meat is keep refrigerated. So you know when you put the meat in freezer or you keep it refrigerated, the bacteria is still alive. So you're playing you're playing with your life basically. And you know pork cause various illnesses over time, like cartilage deterioration, which results in the alone me right now, but I'll get back to that if you remember. It says risk of parasitic infections. You see me? Which parasitic are like tapeworm, roundworm, hookworms, all of that. It says pigs are known to be carriers of a number of parasites. You see me? Pigs are unclean. That's why the most I say, if you eat them because they're unclean. And people might say, oh, so chicken unclean too. Look how much things chicken eat. No, but um chicken have a way, or poultry have a way, that these bacteria cannot survive, or these parasites are destroyed when the chicken is properly clean and stored for cooking. You see me? Pork, you know have that bin, you know have that safety, you know have that safeguard. It says pigs are known to be carriers of a number of parasites, most notably being roundworms, hookworms, tapeworms, and pinworms. And you can research what all of them type of worms they fix them have on the body. You see me? Um it says Tania solium, which is a type of tapeworm, is commonly found in pigs and it can cross species to transplant itself in the human intestine. You see me? So look at that. You see me? These are why the most I say, oh, it is unclean unto you. You know, if you eat it, you know, if you consume it, you know, if you touch it. You see me? To keep you clean. But you know, people disregard the laws of the Most High and then twist and turn the Bible. They say, oh, the Most High show Peter all this Paul, all this unclean food and say, oh, rise, Peter kill and eat, you see me? Just roughly paraphrasing, and then twist that people say, oh, then they can eat pork. Then also twist it to say, oh, the law of done away with, so they can eat pork. Or nothing with the most I put on earth, no unclean, no creature. Isn't good? Them don't understand the laws and them are twist it for them favor, which is wrong. Isn't me? Which is highly going against most, which is leaning onto your own understanding. Isn't me? You have a next parasite we call trichinosis or trichiniasis, result from undercooked pork. And so pork can lead to cancer. You see me? All of them harmful effects there. Heart disease, bacterial resistance. You see me? Just if you want to get through, I go post before I read the article, I post the article in the description. You see me? Post a link to the article in the description where I getting on some precepts. You see me? This is Deuteronomy 14 verse 18. It says this is a law with the Most High given to Moses. You see me? Because start verse 17 says, nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as a camel, as the hare and the coney, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof. Therefore they are unclean unto you. So the Most High is giving his laws to govern his people, which is Israel. You see me? And in the laws, he's differentiating from the animals you can eat. This is the dietary laws, and he's differentiating from the animals you can eat from the animals you cannot eat. So even though the camel chew the cud, then they divide the hoof or the corn or the ear, therefore they are clean unto you. And the Most High is not, when he give a law, when he word go forth, and like I can reason with him and say, oh, but Lord, you see me, we can cook it so, or we can clean you up, or we can do this or do that. We know. You see me? It's yea or nay. You see me? With the Most High. You know, go around, you know, reason, you know, come to no farmer agreement upon him. He knows why. He's the creator of all things. You can't do that with him. You see me? As him say, oh, my thoughts are not your thoughts. You see me? For the heaven are higher. And some of my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. For sure you that his knowing, his understanding are at a higher level than yours. That's why he's telling you don't eat these kind of abominations. You see me? Verse 8 he says, and the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet chew it not the cud, it is unclean unto you. So even though the swine divide the hoof, you know, chew the cud. You see me? Then it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. So not even touch a dead pig, you should not do. Overall, touching dead body makes you unclean. You see me? So you know if you touch the dead, you know if you eat it. So it done bad for them cook, kill and cook pork. You see me? It done bad, it done gone bad. You see, when we read that again, it says, and the swine, which is swine is pig, hog, you see me? Because it divided the hoof, mean or the toes here, the split. You see me? You chew it, not the cud, meaning that in a chew on the grass, you see me? Because you know pigs, they are scavengers, they eat anything. You see me? They eat even human, or they eat even their own self, they eat garbage. You see me? It is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. You see me? But why the Most I say, oh, eat them? You see me? Because it divided the hoof, yet chew it not the cud. You see me? That is the main underlying reason why you should not eat it. You see me? And the most I knows why. You see me? But guess what? Our people are wicked. You see me? Scripture say, oh, them wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. They are selfish children. You see me? Continuing, for sure the detrimental effects of what eating pork are caused biblically. Because not only that eating pork destroys your body, but your body is what? Your body is the temple of the Most High. So this is First Corinthians 3 verse 17. It says, start at verse 16. It says, know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and the spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you. So you know, so you are the spirit of the Most High dwelling in you. You see me? You are the temple of the Most High. You see me? Back in when Yahweh Shai tell the wicked scribes and Pharisees that destroy the temple and build it up back in 3 days. For sure, say the new temple wasn't gonna be no building or any monument of that. It was gonna be you. You see me? It says, if any man if you know ye not that you are the temple of Yahweh, and that the spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you, so the Most High, the spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you. So if the spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you, then it might flee corruption if you continue to corrupt yourself, isn't it? Because you not gonna stay in that vessel. Because the Most High hate corruption, he hate abominations. Isn't it? Most High is a pure power, indwelled with pureness. Isn't it? Verse 17 it says, if any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy, for the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. So the temple of the Most High is holy. Isn't it? And that is why you should not eat swine flesh, because it defile the temple. Isn't it? It is an abomination unto you. Isn't it? It is an abomination unto you. Salakia. For sure you. So if you be wise in your own self, man. If you follow the heathen or follow the multitude to do wickedness, which is in swine flesh is wickedness, because you are sin. What is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. Which law? The law the Most High given to Moses. Isn't it? What is the wages of sin? The wages of sin is death. So if you transgress the law, isn't it, no matter which law, isn't it, the Most High will put it to death. Simple sin. There's no going around or none of that. Lazy repent. Isn't it? And why the purpose of the law? Isn't it? Why the Most High set a standard for tell us, say, oh, do this, don't do that. Act the way, don't act the way there. Follow these statutes and commandments, don't follow these ones. Isn't it? Why the Most High do that? To make you a peculiar people. Isn't it? To set you apart from all the rest of other nations, all the rest of Eden. Isn't it? The scripture, this is Proverbs 6 verse 23 says, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life. So it says the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light. It's and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So reproof, isn't it? Telling you to turn from your wicked, corrupt ways of eating swine flesh. Isn't it? The reproof of instruction are the way of life. So we are telling you, or we are giving you the way of life. Isn't it? When we are out there on the highways and byways professing, we were there in our own friends, our own families, telling you, say, oh, don't eat pork, don't eat lobster, and not only pork, but other animals and things that you are eating, don't eat them. Listen me. Turn from your wicked ways, seek but the Most High. Those are reproofs of instruction, they are life. So we are pleading or begging you to come back to the way of life. See me? It says, for the commandment is a lamp, and what a lamp do? It shines in darkness. You see me? So the lamp of the Most High is what you shall use in this confusion with this world, Babylon. You see me? This society, Babylon society, is confusion. You see me? The law is a lamp, and the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. You see me? So the commandment is that lamp, and the law is light within that lamp. You see me? To show you your ways them. If you tell us you turn back, stop from that act, do this. You see me? Follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And if you don't dare, the Most High will kill you. And him promise him will kill you. You see me? Get that precept. This is Isaiah 66. Start verse 17. It says, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse, shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. You see me? And what is a consumption? With the Lord I tell about. You see me? You see it in verse 16, it says, for by fire and by sword, which is sword, is basically these ICBM missiles, you see me? Will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So the most I go kill out all, you see me? Who not follow his way, who not adhere to his policies, you see me? The most I go kill you, rightly said. Not pit and pump or anything, says for by violence and by sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And why am I plead? Why am I destroy them? As it means, it says they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. Is it mean what I mean by sanctify themselves and purify themselves? Is it meaning attest say oh this is good unto them and no wrong no in it? Is it me? Seek clarification or justification for them actions. Then the wicked deeds. Is it my the scripture say oh want to them that say good for evil and evil for good. You see me? Set and purifying themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst. You see me? Eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouth shall be consumed together, say the Lord. So that is the overall judgment. I mean, thus say the scriptures. You see me? So with that, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to say, Kal Alal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all you come out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.